this monstrosity doesn't exist without Smokehouse Queso. Dried chilies with a smoky essence plus liquid gold poured over a San Antonio original, Fritos. Today, we're making this ridiculous sandwich known as the El Chicharito.
Chicharito!
Oh dear.
All right, so before we make the El Chicharito burger, we gotta make the Smokehouse Queso. And the base for the Smokehouse Queso are these two dried chilies. First one here is the ancho chili, the dried version of the poblano pepper, the #1 used dried chili in Mexican cuisine. The #2 used dried chili is the guajillo pepper, the dried version of the Marisol chili. Now, as far as heat levels concerned with these, they're not too hot. They're on the mild side, and this is coming from a heat puss like myself. So if you take the chilies, rip them open, get rid of the seeds, get rid of the stem, soak them in water, cold, hot, doesn't matter, for a minimum of 2 hours. Drain the water, and eventually what you get are these pepper flesh that have been rehydrated. We're gonna stick all this stuff in the blender anyway, so it doesn't matter that it's ripped or what it looks like. 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. 1 teaspoon of dried green chilies, which are nothing more than canned, diced up hatch chilies. 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic, or garlic powder, however you buy it. And for my salt component, I'm gonna use vegetable base. If you wanna use chicken base, or you just wanna use kosher salt, or some other type of flavored salt, use it. I like vegetable base because it has a lot of flavor, and it's got a really salty component. We're gonna go for about a teaspoon or so. All right, time to make noises. You can taste the salt component from the vegetable base. You can definitely taste the dried chilies. You know what it needs? It needs a little bit of hot sauce. Valentina's for me. If you want Cholula, you want Tabasco, or any other type of hot sauce, just use it. About a teaspoon or so, or if you like a little bit more, just add a little bit more. All that base we just made, low and slow. You don't want queso to go hot and fast. Low and slow will get you to the dance. 1 1/4 cups of whole milk. 6 ounces of processed cheese, like Velveeta. 4 ounces of white processed cheese. And then 4 ounces of your pepper jack cheese. Just add it in stages. What is processed cheese? I don't know. Probably unicorn tears gathered up by elven chupacabras. If you want to build this inside of a crock pot instead of on like a stovetop device, even better. That's even more low and slow. This entire melting the cheese process for the queso should only take maybe 10 or 11 minutes. So put on a song from Metallica's And Justice for All. Pick one, they're all about 10 or 11 minutes long. Time it's over, you should be done. Now, if you're serving this right away for chips and queso and you want it to be a little bit thicker, add some more cheese to it. Now remember, as it sits, it will thicken up. Now it's time to cook a burger. Toast your buns, never untoasted buns, ever. I am using a challah bun, which is a little bit more of an egg yolk based bun. Sesame bun, brioche bun, wheat bun, lettuce wrap. You make your chicharito however you want. This is just about the idea of the chicharito. Now the recipe calls for 6-ounce patty. Obviously I've got 2 smaller patties. I chose to go with 2 3-ounce patties so I get more surface area of seasoning, and that's just how I like it. Now if you don't want to use beef, you want to use a bean burger, a chicken burger, turkey burger, impossible burger, the idea is the chicharito. However you do the components, like the meat and the buns, that's up to you, man. All right, burger seasoning. I'm not gonna bore you with how to make burger seasoning, but I do have a special recipe for my burger seasoning, which is in the description below or on the website. And I like this seasoning, so I'm gonna be a little liberal. And again, we're gonna use a healthy amount of Don't Tell My Doctor. If you want round patties, go for it. If you wanna make little square hamburger patties, because your Aunt Mavis likes them square, make them square. Thin patties, they're gonna cook quickly. But I am gonna use American cheese. Do not waste your fancy cheddar cheese or your Gouda or your Munster or some fancy blue cheese. It is not necessary. You're about to pour a bunch of processed queso all over this Chicharito burger. Just use American cheese. Rare, medium rare, cook them how you want. If you want to cook these things well done, I invite you to seek therapy and maybe say a few Hail Marys. Okay, made it through that. Get them out, set them aside. All right, we're gonna get this cleared away and we're gonna build this monstrosity known as the El Chicharito. All right, first thing we're gonna do is get a little fire sauce down on here. Onions, diced onion. Some diced tomato, if that's what you like. Shredded lettuce, folded lettuce, no lettuce, because you're like my parents and part of the anti-lettuce society. 2 all beef, oh, never mind, wrong video, wrong burger. What makes the El Chicharito the El Chicharito besides the queso? The San Antonio original, Fritos. Patty number 2. At this point, if you want to add something else to the burger, pickles or some radish or whatever the hell you want to put on top of this thing, have it your way. I'm loving it. Go animal style, or whatever the Whataburger slogan is. The reason we call it the El Chicharito is in the first restaurant, CBQ Eatery, which is no longer around, but the cookbook is around, the Eat CBQ, the cookbook, available on Amazon. We wanted to do a burger with queso and Fritos. So we were batting around the idea of queso and Fritos. And somebody in the restaurant, one of the workers, happened to be watching football recently, and they were watching Chicharito. Real name is Javier Hernandez, I believe. And then Mark, one of my cooks in the kitchen, also known as Eyeball or Dump Truck, Chicharito, just starts yelling, just the most enthusiastic version of El Chicharito I've ever heard in my life. Chicharito! Like some type of Tourette's-riddled stripper. El Chicharito! So, that's where we came up with the name, El Chicharito. You want to use this for chips and queso, or pour it over a burger, or maybe even flick it in the eye of those murder hornets. Take inspiration from all this, remix it, and make it your own. This ridiculous El Chicharito burger is just scratching the surface of the ridiculous burgers that I have in mind, and it just solidifies my I'm your chef, not your doctor philosophy. Like, comment, do whatever the YouTube overlords ask us to do. We made this, now it's time to eat this. This is ridiculous. Chicharito!
Outside the boundaries of their phony world of kicks is the ever-present possibility of discovery. This must be avoided at all costs, for discovery brings with it the penalties of society. Shame, arrest, prison. Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.